Justin Timberlake, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Elvis Presley, Harry Styles, and more. But what do these have in common? Apart from them all being artists, they've all started to pursue a career in movies at one point in time. Hi, I'm Blue Sirens, and this is where I hang out on the internet and talk about anything related to music. It can be anime, comic books, gear, whatever it is, you can find it here. And today, I want to talk about the shift of artists into the film industry in the last couple of years. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So, what's been going on recently? In the last couple of years, I feel like there's been a number of artists that have said, I also want to do things in movies. And this isn't anything new, I'd say, because Elvis Presley was doing music and movies for a long time, and that was a long time ago. Miley Cyrus was doing things with the Disney Channel and her music and everything. And no one is saying it's bad to try and put your hands in as many pies as possible, because at the end of the day, one source of revenue isn't necessarily going to be enough. And maybe you're just a creative person and you have a vision for a movie or a TV show, or you just enjoy acting as well. And you just want to be able to do all that you can with the time that you have here on Earth. But lately, it doesn't seem like that is the motivation behind artists going into the film industry. Now, I'm going to point out a couple of people here, and not everything applies to them, because I think some of them are just that talented. So, for example, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, they don't really fall into the category of this, because one, they're just already that talented. Two, they've kind of been doing both for a long time. I mean, Ariana Grande was on TV as a kid. And Lady Gaga, like, she's established, hey, she can do kind of anything she wants. She's left music, she's done movies, she's come back to doing music. Her new album, of course, is fire. So there's not like a problem, I think, at all, or any like negative motivation we could say potentially behind these two people. And Ariana Grande is definitely killing it with Wicked, but she also got that part because of her vocals. It wasn't like she showed up and was like, hey guys, I want to be in a Jason Bourne movie, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, you can do that, we think it will really sell tickets. So no, I don't think that's really the case. The artist that really sparked this for me was Charlie XCX. She's being considered for a role in Netflix's Chronicles of Narnia series. And I don't think Charlie XCX, and I may not be right about this, but I don't think she has any background in acting. And I don't think she, is going to be potentially the best choice for it. I think it was really just a money grab, or an attention seeker per se. Of just saying, hey, we have a big name that could be attached to this Netflix series, and more people will probably watch this because maybe she's in it. It's an easy way to get this project into the press. And that's nothing new. When smaller movies have been trying to do fundraising and they've needed to get more people to invest, having a larger name on the movie just brings in more money and attracts more viewers. Because if that larger name is in it, it must mean the movie's got to be kind of good at some point. So it makes sense that they're doing it with musicians, but I'm not 100% sure why musicians are doing it. And again, it could be that people are just really wanting to branch out and do different things. Justin Timberlake, when he started acting, kind of said the same thing. Justin Timberlake just happened to be pretty good at it, I thought, in my opinion. But in this situation, in this day and age, I think it's different. I think it's not bad to, of course, branch out and to do different things. I'm not trying to crap on Charlie XCX for this. What I'm really trying to focus on is the music industry. So, music industry, I don't think we're just paying artists enough, because I think some artists might see this as an opportunity, like, oh, I have to do this if I'm going to make enough money to survive or to push my career forward. I mean, I think Lady Gaga definitely thought this movie was going to do better, but Lady Gaga did The Joker. I mean, Joker 1 did great and blew people out of the park, but Joker 2, they were kind of forced into doing it, and yeah, Lady Gaga's in it, huge names attached, but that movie just flopped. So, I don't think Lady Gaga in any way was like saying, "Oh, I'm doing this for the money." I think she genuinely wanted to do the movie. I think she enjoyed potentially the process. She made a whole album like inspired by the movie, and then like a year or so later, maybe 2 years later, she's dropping another banger album. So it didn't hurt her career per se. I think she distanced herself enough from the fallout of the Joker movie, but at that point in time, I think it may have been easy for people to say she's doing this for the money, not necessarily the creative expression or the creative freedom that comes with being able to do all these different projects. So I think it's tough to say, yeah, I think artists should also be actors, when really I think most of the time they get into acting because they either A, need the money, the music industry is slow, or their career is hitting a lump and they're not able to make or support themselves off of the streaming model. Or, it's also fine to be in a creative slump too and just say, hey, I can't do music. I'm not being that creative. I'm not coming up with anything. I need to take a break and focus on other things. I mean, I myself, I have other passions outside of music. I have a comic book podcast, and I'm in the process of writing a couple of things. So, there's nothing wrong with having outside passions. My main thing with this is just, I don't think we need to kind of use artists as like a bargaining chip to like attract people to go see movies. Will Charlie XCX be great in the Chronicles of Narnia? We'll see. But I don't think it's nothing new to have artists be a big name in a project to try and get more funding. And I don't think that's a nice or fun thing to do. I mean, if Charlie XCX was like, hey, I actually really want to do this and I'd love to be on board with it, that's another story. And that's just information we don't know. All we know is that she's potentially being eyed to be in the movie. I think that when artists just try to do everything, if they themselves are trying to do everything or do everything that they can, that's great. But when we're trying to just say, hey, I need a name for this movie, let's do that, or I'm not making enough money from touring or from streaming, I need to do this, and maybe that comes down to some bad financial decisions. But Charlie XCX is like on top of her game. That Brat album was great. Like, it was going hard all last year. So I don't think she's really suffering. Maybe she's just like, it's time for me to take a break. I'm going to do something else. But I don't know. And I don't think one group of people needs to stay in their lane. Like, actors can become musicians. Look at Jared Leto. And musicians can become actors. There's no hard aligned boundaries for any of these arts and crafts. My thing, again, it's just the industry of things. When either movie studios are like, hey, let's get this big name, it's an artist, maybe they'll be able to get us more funding for this, or it's a music industry executive screwing over an artist and they're not getting paid enough, so they have to leave what they really want to do, maybe music, and continue with a career in movies, or try and take a movie to cover some of the bills that they have coming up. But again, there's nothing wrong with creative freedom. You should be able to create whatever you want, how you want it. I just think that there may be sometimes be something in the background, a little shady going on, being like, hey, I don't have enough money for this because of X, Y, and Z, and it's the industry I'm in that's operating this way. Or, hey, we need more money for this project. Let's pull an artist in that has a big name and try and fund our project, because at the end of the day, we don't care if we use their name or their reputation. We just want to get this project made. So it's all, I think, at the end of the day, business in some aspects. But I hope that whenever people are diving into other industries, the industry they're diving into is welcoming and supportive. I feel like the other members of this industry tend to be very welcoming and supportive and make it a good experience for those individuals, because they know what it's like to start in something new and how hard it can be, and how hard it's been to work themselves up to it. So when they go into another industry, they are being able to offer support to people coming in and maybe a little bit behind the game. I mean, I don't think Charlie XCX has really acted in anything before, so hopefully her cast and crew, give her pointers, be very supportive if she's in the Chronicles of Narnia. And if someone later in the future wants to dive into the music industry and say, hey, how do I do this, Charlie XCX? They will she'll hopefully be able to provide support for those newcomers into the industry and kind of help them catch up and be like, hey, look out for this, don't do that. But anyway, I don't like people being used as like bargaining chips to do these things without their knowledge. If they know they're being used as bargaining chips to like get more money or to do more things, then it's like, okay, they're being an active participant in it. But when they don't know, it just feels kind of schemy, very scammy. What do you guys think? Are you totally down for musicians to start a career in acting? Do you think maybe they do that because the music industry isn't paying them enough or treating them well? And do you think the film industry sometimes just grabs big name artists to try and secure funding for their projects? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.